Hi guys, I'm back. You'll have to pardon the pups. They are very upset today for some reason. They keep barking at everything. You knock it off. This is Hero in the background. You see his ears. Again, took off glasses so you can actually see my face in that glare. Welcome to day 2 of my vlog. I'm doing it a little early tonight because I actually have plans on going out this evening. I'm going to go out to karaoke because I like doing that in the evenings. And then tomorrow's going to be a pretty busy day because I am getting back together with my friends who do, that we did a Little Shop of Horrors with. And we're going to do like a kind of a mini concert, which is going to be a lot of fun. So that being said, sorry, last time the music was really, really quiet. Hopefully you'll actually be able to hear the music this time. The song I was playing last time was a song I wrote, and the song you're listening to now is a song I wrote. And I'm going to kind of feature all the songs that I've written and so on and so forth. My dog needs to stop scratching me. Gosh, that one looks bad. So, welcome back to Confessions of a Schrödinger Addict. Not having a good day today. A friend, Oz, I told you guys about last night, who had to go back to the hospital today because the blood thinners they put him on are messing with his system in a negative way. He's having issues again, and they transferred him already to one hospital, and that hospital is going to transfer him to a hospital in Denver. So much fun. So, sorry, I was trying to do this, and it didn't work so well. For some reason, this is all mirrored, and now I'm all confused. That's okay. Anyway, I had a rough day today as far as diet goes because it's, like I said, a lot easier to eat cheap than it is to actually a lot easier to eat, cheap food than it is to stick to a diet. And lately I found the bane of my existence, which is really, really delicious thing. It's basically, it tastes a lot like the Hershey's chocolate pies that you can get from Burger King. Hashtag not sponsored. And they're really, really good, obviously, and I got them at my local store. It's right across the street from where we live, and I want more, and that's a bad thing. It's really, really hard, especially when you're feeling stressed, to say no to that kind of thing. And I apologize, I'm going to put my glasses on here for a second, because the song that I picked for today, I did not realize had lyrics. So let's see if I can find something else to listen to here. Give me half a second. Yeah, that one will do fine. Sorry, the lyrics of my own song were tripping me up a little bit. There we go. So tint. Let's give this a second here. There we go. That's what I used last time. Let's get that going. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, so think I need to start doing regular walks with my puppy. I did a research recently on the breed. So Gab Gab, as I may or may not have already mentioned, is a Pomeranian. You guys saw her last night. She's adorable. And I'm sure you guys have probably seen her before. Like, I'm acting like you've never seen her before, but I don't do vlogs on a regular basis. Not enough to establish, you know, things about me. So, she's the type of dog that requires a little bit more playtime, a little bit more walking, a little bit more, you know, us time. I specifically chose the Pomeranian breed because I know that they are a type of dog that prefers like one specific person. They're a very clingy breed, so to speak. They have a person and she needs me as much as I need her kind of thing, and that was what I wanted in a dog and a companion animal. Oh, that brings up some dark memories. Alright, so I wanted to talk about my adoption process of my little girl. And so this is gonna kind of take down a darker road. I talked about this on Panther's vlog recently. Not super recently, but it was recent. And in case you're wondering about my setup and the reason you could see Hero back there, you know, cute and adorable, is I'm actually on the floor. My desk is one of those lap desks that, you know, you put on the floor, or you can adjust the legs kind of thing. So what you're seeing behind me is my bed, and so that's why he's up there. Anyway, so we were living in the state of Washington, and I have this beautiful, wonderful basset hound, long-haired basset hound, and his name's Caramel. He's getting kind of up there in years, and he's blind, and for the most part, all Carmi wanted to do was sleep, and that's kind of normal for a dog of his age. He was 13 years old. Gosh, she was old. Especially for a basset. So life expectancy is about 10 years. So I thought it'd be nice to get a dog while, you know, Carmel was still alive. I guess to sort of show the new dog personality and how I wanted to be taken care of, that kind of thing. And I decided that I wanted to get a Pomeranian, and I wanted to get a puppy because I wanted to train her, kind of thing. I originally wanted a boy dog, and I wanted to name him Marky Moo. Well, I had a friend, I guess I couldn't really call them a friend, more of an acquaintance, that decided to trash me on Facebook and basically called me out and accused me of using the GoFundMe for, no, excuse me, the GoFundMe wasn't for a dog, it was for Caramel. I apologize. So Caramel, I had a GoFundMe going for Caramel because he had, gosh, what is it called? What is it? Cataract? That's not right. Glaucoma. There we go. Glaucoma that affects the eyeballs. He had one eye that was like kind of popping out of his socket, and the other one was kind of like sinking in. And his eyes always caused him constant pain. And then around the time that this happened, he lost his eyesight completely. He just couldn't see. He woke up one morning and he refused to go anywhere because he couldn't see. It was scary, and so I talked to his vet about it, and the vet told me that it would be best for Caramel to have his eyes removed. It wasn't a necessary thing, it was an optional thing. And so I set up a GoFundMe for that surgery. And this acquaintance called me out on it because I had mentioned that I was looking into getting a Pomeranian puppy. And I had been talking online to somebody about getting one, because Pomeranian puppies are very expensive. They can be anywhere between $1,500 to $2,200, so it's $1,500 and $2,000 for a little puppy. And this person was willing to help me get one for $3. And so I was happy about that, and of course I posted about it, and she accused me of wanting to use the money for the surgery for Carmel to get this dog, and that, you know, neglecting my dog, and you know, how dare I, and she said some other really, really negative things about me, and it really hurt a lot to have someone just like attack me like that on Facebook of all things too. I think one of the most hurtful things that she said in that particular rant was, "Thank goodness this person supposedly can't breed." Like, I was this awful, terrible person for wanting to get a companion animal. And confronting her about it didn't do any good. And her friends wanted to believe what they wanted to believe about me. And at the time, I had just recently switched to a different type of medication to help manage my depression. This particular medication is something called Wellbutrin. I can't remember the generic term for it, but what ended up happening is that night I couldn't sleep, and my self-loathing was a little worse than usual, and it was the worst night of my life. I was literally fighting for my life, and it took all of my courage and willpower to go to my husband instead of doing what I wanted to do. And I was in tears. I woke up from a dead sleep. I was crying my eyes out, and I told him I want to die. I want to die so badly. And he called the nurse helpline. He said something's really, really wrong with my wife. You know, she's talking about suicide. They said that it's, and for future reference, any of those who have had an experience like this, when you are attempting or want to attempt, it is considered a emergency, and it is something that you can call an ambulance for, or go into the ER for. They told my husband to bring me in right away, and Panther and my brother Kumo broke speed limits to get me there, and they took away all of my clothes, all my personal effects, had me put in a hospital gown, and Hero, do you mind? Everyone can see you doing that. See that, boy? Put me in basically a big old glass box and observed me for a good 8 hours. It was a while. They decided that it was a result of the new medication. It took 2 days for it to completely leave my system, and I was an emotional wreck. I would cry about stupid things. It was very weird. And so now, whenever I go into the hospital and they ask me, you know, do you have any allergies, I have to let them know that I have a sensitivity to Wellbutrin. Can't give it to me, it makes me suicidal. That ties into the reason why I wanted to get a companion animal, like my little Gab Gab here, underneath my desk and giving me kisses. Hey, girl. So that episode made me want to get a dog even more, because I felt like having that companion, you know, being able to hold a dog and help take, you know, go out for walks and that kind of thing would help me feel better about everything. And the cool thing about Pomeranians is that they're tiny, and they're sensitive, and their people are their people, and all that. And um, the person I had been talking to online about getting a dog turned out it was a scam. I was very disappointed about that. And so we went to this place that adopted out dogs in the area. And the way that they did their processing was kind of ridiculous, where they had like 10, 20 applicants for one single dog. And they were apparently, my vet warned me later on that they are the type of company that doesn't completely disclose all of the medical problems. So you could be adopting a dog that's really sick and not know it. But I decided not to go with them anyway, because they didn't have the breed of dog I was looking for anyway. And I didn't want to have to try to compete with another person for the type of dog I wanted. I was kind of bummed, and I looked at animal shelters nearby, and I was like, there's one nearby, let's go check it out and see what happens. And so there was it was a very tiny place, and I was expecting, oh, sorry, hero, I didn't know you were right behind me, buddy. I just clocked him in the face. Are you okay? I'm sorry, it's so good you have a good, nice hard head, huh? Yeah. I think they had a total 8 kennels, and I was like, explain my situation. I'm looking for a dog. Tiny dog, because at this point I wasn't being super specific. I wanted something that was easy to take with me to places, because I wanted to train this dog to be a emotional support animal, you know, and I could take with me in places and things of that nature. And they said, well, we have 2 small dogs, and they showed me this other dog. I think was like a mixed dog between a dachshund and some other dog. It wasn't really super small, so to speak, but he was like maybe, oh, okay, there we go. So probably about that big, probably wider than the camera can show you. It was pretty, you know, not super tiny, but not super big either. He was definitely a small dog by definition. Hero behind me is considered a medium-sized dog. Well, I'll talk about his adoption later. But I happened to glance over, and the way that this place was set up was that, you know, there was the kennels, and the kennels had 4 kennels on each side, and then just a hallway, and that was pretty much the entire place. But then, like at the end of the hallway, was a screen door, and beyond that screen door was like a little walkway type place that the dogs could go out and exercise and wander around and all that jazz. And I happened to look over, and there's this cute little black fuzzball face looking up at me, and I was like, Panther? And he's like, what? Is that a Pomeranian? And so we asked to hang out with her, and so they let us outside with her, and she, of course, immediately went to Panther because she knows he's like the head of the household. She was like, hey, how's it going? I like you, like, kind of thing. And Panther handed her to me, and I kind of cuddled her for a minute. I asked her, you want to come home with me? You want to be my baby girl? So we found out her name is Gabby. They assumed that she was about 4 years old because of, you know, the teeth thing. And so when I said that I was interested, I went to go pay the adoption fees and all that other jazz. They looked at her records. She was actually only 2 years old. She just had really bad teeth, and still kind of does. But I got a record for her, so she's the first dog I've ever had that I know the birthday of. Her birthday is actually, her birthday's this month. My Gab's gonna turn 4 years old on the 21st. Yeah, that'll be Gab's birthday. I should do something special for her. But yeah, she They weren't sure if she was fixed or not. That was excuse me, that was a condition of adopting her. So they had to keep her for a couple of days to get her into the spay, and then I could pick her up from the dog hospital. But before all that could happen, she had to meet Carmel to make sure that they two could get along. So I bring in Carmel, and they put us in the hallway between the two of them, and she's sniffing him out. He's kind of sniffing in her general direction because he can't see. She just comes up to him and just goes, boop, right on the face, and he just kind of went, what was that? It was hilarious. It was the funniest thing ever, and you know, they got along just fine. And so we went ahead with the adoption. Picked her up 2 days later, and the poor dog was so confused. She had no idea what was happening to her. The vet gives her to me and goes, make sure she doesn't jump off anything, or, you know, it's not super hyper, you know, keep her, you know, calm or whatever because of the stitches and stuff like that. So, of course, I take Gabby home, and the first thing she does, jumps up on the furniture, jumps off the furniture, runs up and down the stairs. Dog, what are you doing? Gabby definitely lives up to her name because she's a little yip, 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 yip. And it was funny because, she, it's just such a vocal dog. I have this really cute video of her. I handed her to Panther because I worked as a karaoke host, and I had to go to work, and so I hand her off to him, and she does this kind of noise, and for whatever reason that particular night she called me mama, and it was funny, you know, the way that dogs do, like that really weird ma ma kind of thing. And it was, I had this video of it, and I'm just like going, oh, I caught it on camera. She hasn't really done it ever since, but she does get quite upset when I have the audacity to leave without her. Now, the reason why I don't take her with me everywhere I go like I had originally planned is because she is not a trained working animal. She is my emotional support animal. I actually have a doctor's prescription, for lack of better description, that says I need her. That, you know, for my sanity, for my anxiety, for my depression. But she has, you know, she doesn't have any of the training. She barks at people, she jumps on people. She's the friendliest dog you'll ever meet, but man, this dog is just so... She lives up to her name. She's Gabby, for sure. I make this because there's a big difference between an emotional support animal and a working animal. They have training, and training is not cheap. I've looked into getting Gabby trained, which is something I still really very much want to do, but to get her professionally trained in the way that I need her, it would cost me about $2,000. So imagine if I had gotten a puppy Pomeranian in order to get that puppy trained in the way that I needed her to be trained. That dog would have cost me almost $4,000. So when Panther got sick, when we found out he was sick a couple of months later, we decided we wanted to get a dog for him. I thought, because Pomeranians are a great companion animal. They're awesome. They're cuddleable. They want to be around you all the time. Just like a little girl under my desk. Scritch, 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 scritch. Don't be jealous. So I decided to look up the family, because apparently Pomeranians is actually not the technical name. I think the technical name for a Pomeranian is actually a wolf Spitz. Because they're part of the Spitz family. So I'm like, well, you know, a Pomeranian wouldn't quite help Panther because he has multiple sclerosis. So I needed a dog that could help him with his balance issues, that could help him, you know, but that was at least small enough that, you know, he could be a cuddle, you know, kind of a lap dog. And so I found this new breed, new to me anyway, called a Keeshon. Big, fluffy balls. This guy behind me, let's see, there he is. He is actually like he's smaller than most Keeshons, and he's not as floofy, because Keeshons are basically just big Pomeranians. They have the same kind of personality, the same types of needs and wants and desires, you know. They need to be walked, they're very energetic. They're super talkative! And so Panther was looking all over for an actual working dog, an MS dog. Most of these dogs cost a good $10,000 or more because of all the training that they have to go through and etc. etc. And for the most part, none of it's covered under insurance or anything like that, so you're on your own if you need or want a working dog. So we kind of went to the route of we need this dog to help Panther with his, you know, because, you know, Caramel's old and he's not going to be able to help in the way that he's, you know, he's a cuddle bug, a big old cuddle bug. I used to call him Baby Bear. So he found a Keeshon rescue down in Oregon, which was really close to Washington. And so we drove, I think, 3 hours or something like that to go out there and visit him. And that's when we first met our cute little boy. Come here, Hero. Come here. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Are you feeling lonely? Are you feeling lonely? Hey, don't you lonely? Yeah? Oh, you're such a good boy. You're a good boy. So, don't be a brat. You know I'm talking about you, huh? So, this little guy just fell in love with Panther the moment they met. They were best friends. I could tell that Hero definitely wanted to be brought home by Panther. So we adopted him. And he and Gab Gab got along swimmingly. For the most part, they kind of like were just happy to pretend the other didn't exist for a while. And then we had to move. And when we went to move, I decided we were going to make several life changes. We talked to the vet, and he told us that Carmel was too old to move with us. So we tried to find someone to take him, but because he was so old, no one wanted to take a dog that was basically at the end of its life. And it wouldn't be fair to him either, because Carmi had been with us since he was 4. I mean, we'd had him almost 10 years. And he was a good dog. So we had to say goodbye to him. It was very, very sad. And I had asked Panther to be there for him at the end, because I just couldn't emotionally handle it. I had put a dog down before, and that killed me. I lost that dog to cancer. You know, F cancer, alright? Just gonna say that right now. F it. F it. Cancer is the worst thing in the world. Just the worst thing. You know, we brought the dogs here with us, and once they settled down or whatnot, they seemed to suddenly be aware of each other's presence. And what this ended up turning into was Hero likes to play. And he likes to be the center of attention. And he hates it when Mommy gives Gab Gab lots of attention and he doesn't get any. He just doesn't like it, even though he's Panther's dog. This turns into a bark fest. And then Gabby will bark back at him. And then the worst case scenario happened where she nipped at him. She like grabbed onto his fur and tore a big chunk of it out. It was terrifying. And so it's one of those things where, you know, they get along just fine for the most part. Not always. But I don't think our lives would be quite the same without these two wonderful, bickering, loving doggos. Hero has gone to go find Papa because he wants lovin'. He's not giving it to him the way he wants. So anyway, that's the story of how I adopted Gabby and how, you know, there's some kind of dark memories behind it. But I am super glad that I got her. And it's why I don't get to take her with me everywhere I go, because she's not trained for that. If I can get her trained for that, that would be fantastic. But we'll see how things go. In the meantime, still, like I said, still struggling with the food thing. I think a lot of stuff is going on right now, and there's a lot of emotional problems, and I'm trying to fill that void, and doing it with high carb foods, probably not the best idea. What else do I want to talk about? I got the show, Iowa show tomorrow. I think I mentioned that at the beginning. Little Shop of Horrors was so much fun to do, and to be able to do kind of like a mini show of that show is going to be great. It's scheduled. I have 3 shows at about half an hour long each kind of thing, and sorry, I'm thinking of other things. I went through all the choreography last night, and I thankfully remember the majority of it. But I remember it as badly as I remembered it during the actual show. So I guess that's kind of in my favor. I love to dance. I'm not the best at it. I don't know if it's a confidence thing or if it's just like a... Like if I'm able to dance my own way, it looks really good. But I can't seem to move myself in the same way that most other dancers can, and that makes me sad. I always wanted to be a dancer, and that was the one thing that I just didn't allow for myself. And so, you know, when I learned that when it comes to performers in this day and age, they no longer prefer, they need performers that can actually move, that can actually do dancing and stuff of that nature. And so I have to learn how to dance if I want to make a career out of singing and dancing and stuff of that nature. But like I said in last night's episode, I'm not sure that that's the path for me anymore. Basically due to my age and the failure, the many times that I failed trying to do things. I used to blame it a lot on my weight, and whereas that may be the case in some cases, it's not the case in all things. So the one good thing that came out of the karaoke competition that I was in recently was that I met a man who does vocal coaching, and even though he's in a different state, I can call him on the computer, and we went through, and he thinks that I am a phenomenal voice, which I am humbled by that, because if you asked me, you know, I'd say I'm decent. I wouldn't say that I'm great, but I would say that I'm decent. You know, I don't make you want to scratch out your ears, but, you know, I don't think that I'm the best singer in the world by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. And a lot of times I'm trying to figure out what makes me special. Like, what makes me better than everyone else? Or I should say better, that's the wrong word. what makes me more unique? What makes me have that special thing that most singers seem to have that I don't? I don't know what I'm missing. That was actually one of the things that after the competition they gave us what the judges had to say, and one of them said that something is missing, and I don't know what that something is. And that's something that I'm hoping that my new vocal coach can help me through, and to improve my vocal quality and to get better at singing, so that I'm not stagnated, I guess. So he gave me some homework to do, so to speak. A new type of genre. I don't usually do country, but they suggested country in this particular situation. And we'll see how that goes, because I have a very similar vocal range to this particular artist, the artist being Martina McBride. So we'll see how that goes. I see him on Tuesdays, so I've got lots of time, but I think I'm going to practice a little bit tonight and see how it goes. So wish me luck, and hopefully I won't try to overindulge on any more delicious Hershey's pies. Want any more double chin? Oh, I don't like the double chin. I mean, I can stand being obese or being, you know, fluffy or curvy, but this, I hate it. That's one thing I hate about myself. I got oh gosh, what is it called? I want to say sculpting kit. That's not quite right, but it's the foundation you use to kind of highlight some areas and take away from others. And this is always darkened, so you don't see the, you know, you see this pretty part of my face, because I have a very cute, very round face, and this just makes it look weird in my it is what it is. You know, you work at things, and hopefully, who knows, maybe I could figure this out. And in the meantime, we can only do the best that we can. So so I'm gonna leave it tonight. Hopefully when I have fun tonight at karaoke, and I hope you guys have a great time. This is Indigo Frog signing off. Gribbit, everybody. Have a great night.